About to talk about the homie, Brody, Russell Westbrook, and some anonymous fan that is not so anonymous anymore. You guys saw this. It's been everywhere since that game occurred. Okay, so Russell Westbrook got into a heated confrontation with a fan Sunday night, and at one point had to tell the fan, hey, quote, watch your mouth, motherfucker. Yes, they bleeped it out. I didn't. And it was all captured on video. Went down during game one at halftime in Phoenix. Now, you can see the guy who's wearing some Suns gear, and he's like yelling back and forth for Westbrook, and it's just awkward from hello, right? Nobody knows what started it, what were the first words said just yet. Unclear what really ignited this encounter, but it happened in this area. They call it the club area, and a lot of players cut through the club area to get to the visiting locker room, right? So somebody will let the birdie out the bag. Hey, dog, go that way so you ain't got to go around all that stuff. All right, I'm going to hit it. But that means you are now around the fans. You are now around the casuals, as they call them, right? The ones who are sitting there sauced up in the zone, and look who just walked by. It wasn't a poster of any of these players. It was the actual physical player. So that's how it all happens. Gas meets fire in those moments. Okay, now before we dive into that, just want to tell you how Westbrook was already in his zone. Now his shot wasn't going, and that happens a lot with Westbrook. He ain't the purest of shooter, just to say that for the record. But, he was out there doing everything else. What'd he do? He had 3 of 19 shooting from the field. Excuse me, yuck. But he was boarding. He was out there steals. He made his presence felt defensively. And remember Devin Booker's shot that he went up there and said, nah, let me get that. That sealed the deal for the Clip City. All right, so they played game 2 on Tuesday. Now let's dive into this. We have a tug of war right now. And the tug of war is between these entitled fans and the fans who actually support and make the game. So what's happening here? When a fan spends their hard-earned money, and now let's just be real about fans. All of them aren't downtrodden, right? Everybody's not in the 500 level. Not everybody's spending their last dollar to take the family of 4 to the game. But they are a part of this conversation, part of the equation. But a lot of times when we talk about fans, we always want to talk about that fan. But these players don't have interactions and don't have issues with the 500 level fans. They're having these problems with the fans that are at that lower bowl, right? Those 100 levels fans, those courtside fans, club level fans. And those are the fans that are entitled because not only are they spending their hard-earned money, even though they have more of it, it's still hard-earned. But also because of that access, because somehow, some way, since they're on the same level, and I mean physical level as the players, they feel entitled like they can cross the line. How many times y'all seen players running up the court and you see a fan with his legs stretched all the way out on his phone sitting there courtside $5,000 seats? Y'all don't think that dude feels entitled? Or you don't think that dude feels like he's a little more important than he is in a moment? I think he is. Even if I've been that guy, that's kind of my thought process. Oh, I got my gin and juice right here. My legs is, you better not step on my J's when you run. You better not step on me or hit me when you dive for that loose ball, etc. But when gas meets fire, it's not in those moments when the players are active, right? Fans are just going to spout off all the time. Hey, you suck. Oh, you the man. Whatever it may be. Oh, look at him. Look at LeBron. Oh, my God, look how close you are. You like that, right? They do all of those things. But this is when it's a problem. It's a problem when you don't respect that you have paid money for theater. You have paid money for someone else to go to work. You spent your hard-earned money you got from your job to now go watch them do their job. And how in the hell do you blur that line? Oh, just because your ticket costs more than the guys up there. So once you get down there, oh man, these people act a fool. These people, and they're supposed to be, quote unquote, the creme de la creme, right? They're supposed to be the high society. They're supposed to be the one with the access, so therefore they know how to act with the access. No, no, no. I've seen it too many times. I've seen too many of those little conventions that they have, right? It's 10 of the VPs or the CEOs. And next thing you know, they pounding their Bud Lights. And all of a sudden, they see somebody that they've admired or maybe is even envious of. Because it's one thing to be rich, and it's another thing to be rich and famous. And that's what those players are. And they see that walk by, and it's always one in that mob mentality. It ain't the whole group. It's just one of them. You know who he is. He was on the intramural team in college. He studied hard. He all of a sudden started his private equity firm. He sold a couple businesses. And now he's sitting there and he's sitting on $300-400 million, took the jet into the game. And then he see Westbrook go by. And then he just started having flashbacks of watching Skip Bayless. And he's like, Westbrook. And then his boys chuckle because nobody else stopped them. And that's how it always is, right? If somebody don't stop you the first time you do something dumb, you do something dumber, right? And his boys are sitting there like, that's good, Westbrook. And then finally, a man's a man, a person's a person, right? Especially when I'm at work. People forget this all the time. I know it's like the most fun job in the world. Well, actually, I think being a talk show host is more fun than actually being a player. But I digress, because you got to put in different types of work to be a player versus this, just talk and know what you're talking about. But this guy's at work. This is his job. Russell Westbrook is at halftime. He's on a lunch break, right? Would you walk up to somebody at your job on lunch break and talk shit to him? No, you would not. So I just don't get it. Just had to explain that, and more importantly, translate that to your world. Because I know 98% of us don't act like that. But those 2%ers who are really representing the 1%ers with all that access, ooh, y'all better be lucky. Brody was at work.